This is the story of Nadine, a teenage girl who thought her life couldn't get any worse until her best friend fell for her brother. The film opens with Nadine walking into her teacher, Mr. Bruner's classroom with a dramatic announcement. She tells him she's going to commit suicide and figured an adult should know. Mr. Bruner responds with deadpan sarcasm, saying he was just writing his own suicide note because life is terrible and students keep interrupting his break time. Nadine doesn't take him seriously and leaves. Through voiceover, Nadine takes us back to her childhood. She never fit in at school, while her brother Darian excelled at everything. Getting her out of the car each morning was a struggle for her parents. Only her father truly understood her and knew how to handle her difficult moods. Then one day, a girl named Krista became her friend, and everything changed. They became inseparable, supporting each other through thick and thin, especially when Krista's home life got rough. As they grew into teenagers, Nadine battled insecurity and acne, while Darian transformed into the handsome, popular star of the family. One afternoon, Nadine's father took her out for cheeseburgers to cheer her up. He told her she was loved and everything would be okay. They were driving home together, singing along to music, when their car crashed. Her father died in the accident. 4 years have passed since that terrible day. The family has tried to move forward, but Nadine stopped laughing. Today, with Krista by her side, she finally laughs openly for the first time. Nadine has a massive crush on an older boy at school named Nick, but she's too nervous to approach him. In Mr. Bruner's class, she corrects his teaching, and he sarcastically asks if she ever thinks about having a life outside of school. A sweet boy named Erwin compliments her sweatshirt, but she barely registers him because she's too focused on other things. When their mother leaves for the weekend to go on a date with a dentist, she sees it as her chance to take over the house. She and Krista throw a wild party. Nadine gets completely drunk and Krista takes care of her, eventually putting her to bed in the bathroom. She then goes downstairs where Darian is cleaning up the party mess and she helps him clean. The next morning, Nadine wakes up and comes downstairs to find Krista and Darian kissing. Her world completely shatters. Krista immediately apologizes, saying things just happened and she didn't know how to stop it. But Nadine can't hear any of it. She places all the blame on Darian, accusing him of having no personality and only relying on his looks to attract people. She tells him to stay away from her friend. Darian hits back hard, pointing out that Nadine doesn't have friends, plural. She only has one friend. At school, Nadine realizes she forgot to do her homework. She tries to use her father's death as an excuse, but Mr. Bruner shuts her down, telling her that 4 years is far too long to keep playing that card. Feeling dejected, she sits down as Erwin tries to make conversation about his weekend golfing. She suggests they go golfing together sometime, but quickly adds that it should be in a group, not just the two of them. Meanwhile, Darian and Krista meet up again at school. They both admit that the previous night felt amazing, and they make plans to see each other again. After school, Krista tries to explain everything to Nadine, but Nadine is too hurt and angry to listen. Krista promises their friendship won't change and invites Nadine to a party on Friday where she and Darian will be. Reluctantly, Nadine agrees to go. At the party, Nadine watches as Krista effortlessly charms Darian's friends and fits right into his world. Nadine stands alone, unable to connect with anyone despite her attempts. She feels completely left out and invisible. She calls her mother, who's having her own crisis. The dentist she went away with turned out to already have a wife. That night, Nadine considers emailing Nick since he hasn't accepted her friend request, but she stops herself, feeling too desperate. Instead, she calls Erwin. He mentions that the local theme park stays open late and invites her to come hang out. Her mother gives permission, and soon Nadine and Erwin are on a Ferris wheel, talking about their dreams and hopes for the future. Erwin takes a chance and leans in to kiss her, but Nadine pushes him away. They awkwardly agree to forget it happened and continue having fun playing mini-golf together. Nadine tells him she finds him very mature. The next day at school, Krista tries once again to talk things through with Nadine, but Nadine has reached her breaking point. She tells Krista that when they're around Darian's friends, Krista completely ignores her. Then she delivers an ultimatum. Krista has to choose between dating Darian or keeping their friendship. She can't have both. Krista refuses to make that choice and walks away upset. That evening at home, Nadine has an emotional confrontation with Darian. She reminds him of the night after their father died, when she found him crying so hard that his pillow was soaked with tears. She had quietly switched her dry pillow with his wet one because she cared about him. Now she asks how he could betray her like this. Darian calls her selfish and says she had no right to bring their father into this fight. The argument escalates into a physical altercation, and their mother has to pull them apart. When she scolds Darian, he explodes, asking why she always blames him for everything. She quietly admits it's because he's the only one who actually listens to her. Feeling bold, Nadine goes to the restaurant where Nick works. She tries to order food but keeps stumbling over her words, eventually admitting she really just came to see him. Nick acknowledges her, but then walks away, leaving her embarrassed. The next morning, Nadine's mother tells her she can't keep driving her to school every day and insists that whatever is happening between her and Krista needs to be resolved. Krista is outside waiting to drive her. Reluctantly, Nadine gets in the car. At school, Nadine looks for Erwin but learns from his friend that he's taking time off to work on a film project for an upcoming festival. Feeling completely alone, she starts having lunch with Mr. Brunner. She tells him she has no friends and doesn't like anyone at school. He bluntly suggests that maybe nobody likes her either. This makes Nadine angry, but Mr. Brunner talks her down and offers her cookies to make her feel better. He tells her he's her favorite student. When she asks if that's true, he says it is, and that he probably should tell her that more often. Later, Erwin calls to check on her. At first, Nadine is cold and hangs up on him, but then she calls back. She lies and says she took some antidepressant pills and isn't feeling well. Erwin immediately invites her over to his house, mentioning he has a pool. They swim together and have fun. Nadine jokingly asks if he'd want to be intimate with her, and they both laugh. But Erwin thought she was being serious and gets a bit hurt. He tells her she shouldn't joke about things like that with friends. Nadine apologizes. They continue spending time together, and Nadine discovers that Erwin is an incredibly talented artist. He's creating an animated film from his drawings. Despite his parents being gone for 3 months, he hasn't thrown any parties. He's completely focused on his creative work and goals. The next day, Nadine's mother drives her to school. When they arrive, Nadine refuses to get out of the car. Her mother physically has to force her out, completely fed up with her behavior. In frustration, her mother says that Nadine's father would be very disappointed with the person she's becoming. This comment enrages Nadine. She grabs her mother's car keys and drives off. In the car, Nadine sends Nick a text message confessing her feelings and suggesting they be intimate. She doesn't plan to send it, but accidentally hits send. Immediately, she panics and regrets it. She rushes to Mr. Brunner's classroom, frantically asking if he can somehow intercept Nick's phone or delete the message before he reads it. She's spiraling with anxiety. Mr. Brunner calmly tells her everything will be fine and suggests she go eat some ice cream to calm down. Nadine's mother tries calling her, but she ignores it. A little while later, Nick texts back. He says her message was cute and invites her to hang out that night. Nadine is thrilled. She rushes home to get ready, but in her excitement, she completely trashes her room. When her frustrated mother comes home and sees the destroyed bedroom, she's furious. She calls Darian, who's out at a party with friends, and tells her everything that's happening. Darian leaves the party to come support her mother. Krista comes along with him. Meanwhile, Nadine meets up with Nick for their date. Back at home, their mother is breaking down emotionally. Darian tries his best to comfort her. He asks her why she always calls him when there's a problem. Her mother realizes her mistake and admits that she feels like he's the only person she has. On the date, Nick takes Nadine to a secluded spot and immediately starts kissing her. He tries to rush into being intimate, but Nadine stops him and says no. Nick gets angry, reminding her that she was the one who sent him that message. Nadine feels terrible. She explains that she does like him, but the message was sent by accident, and now she realizes he might have just been using her. She leaves, devastated. With nowhere else to go, Nadine ends up at Mr. Bruner's house. When he answers the door, she's surprised to see that he has a beautiful family and a warm, normal home life. She'd never imagined him this way. Shortly after, Darian arrives to pick her up. He asks her to get in the car, but when Nadine sees that Krista is there too, she refuses. Darian gets frustrated and starts to leave, but then stops. He turns around and finally opens up.
Darian reveals the truth. Nothing is easy. He can't go to the college he wants because he needs to stay near home. He doesn't trust Nadine to take care of their mother. He loves Krista, but knowing it hurts Nadine eats him alive. He tells Krista to drop Nadine home later and leaves. Mr. Bruner eventually drives Nadine home. She admits she was selfish and didn't understand what Darian was going through. She apologizes to her brother. He forgives her and hugs her. The next morning, Nadine wakes up early and cheerful, surprising her brother. Today is Erwin's film festival screening. She arrives early to support him. Mom worries about where she is, but Nadine texts that she's safe. Erwin's animation plays. It's about a boy who loves a girl, but she ignores him. He saves her from a monster, but when she finally notices him, he rejects her, tired of being overlooked. Nadine realizes this is about her and how she treated Erwin. She apologizes to Erwin, promising not to ignore him again. When his friends arrive, he introduces Nadine to everyone. She's happy to be included. She's learned to take responsibility, stop being selfish, and respect others. With this realization, the story ends.
If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie breakdowns. Drop a comment below telling us which movie you'd like to see next. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.